Good morning. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. We're back with another video. Let's get into it. Crazy day today, Friday. It's a great day. Jacob's boring some doors right now. Brandon is trying to, we did this existing resurfacing job for a client who loved it. But then afterwards, she wanted some glass doors, maybe like a month or so after. So he's trying to take the center panel out of her existing doors, and we have to be super careful not to ruin the door, because we don't necessarily, we could figure out how to make that style, but we don't necessarily make the style. So we don't want to ruin anything. So he's just going to take his time and figure that out. Carl's ripping down material to make other doors. I have to measure some doors. I'm going to help Jacob bore so he can get those to the other facility, bring back the face frames for the cabinets we were working on. We still have to put those cabinets together, so a whole bunch of things to do. These are the doors Brandon's working on right here. He's going to take out that center panel, and so that way glass can go in there. Jakey's over here boring out these doors. He has all of our hinges packed up. Blum compact soft close. Now he just gets the whole board out like that. He'll put the hinge in. Again, it's a super good way to do that, so that way we don't have to hammer these hinges in on site since they're press in. I don't know if the client likes when we hammer on their countertop, so we just stopped doing that. Anything to say?
Yeah, that was not fun when we used to hammer them.
Yeah, and then you break a seam. It wouldn't happen often, but it would happen. So this way, way better. And now, as long as Jakey did everything correctly, everything's correct. But it looks perfect. So this is the only door I have to do. I have to do some math to figure out where I want the hinges. So we're gonna do this and go from there. On my sheet, I have marked where I want those hinges to be. What the normal means is the top is 3.5 down, the bottom is 3.5 up, and middle, the normal means centered. So that's just how I write it on the sheet. So now I just need to measure for my center, figure out what I need to do there. Using the best tools known to man, Milwaukee. So let's get these hinges in, and then Jacob can go take these to our other facility, start getting stained. So that way we can put them on for our client. This is a refacing job. It's where I measured for maybe on Monday, and it is just brand new soft close red oak doors, existing drawer boxes, but brand new red oak drawer fronts with brand new handles. So we need to get all this done, installed for her, so that way she can use her bathroom again. She can still use her bathroom, but we're not touching the frames or anything in this job either, but that way she has a bathroom that looks new. Brandon's over here routering out the inside panel of those existing doors because the client wants glass in them, so he's got to carefully take those out without breaking the door. Just going to take a while. I'm going to come over here and measure for these doors, for this cabinet. We did a job for this client. We added a bunch of cabinets to their kitchen, brand new doors, brand new drawer boxes, everything soft close, brand new drawer fronts, brand new handles. I believe it was a two-tone color kitchen. We did it probably 2 years ago now. Super awesome client. But now he wants us to make a vanity. So the drawer boxes are complete. Face frame is on and complete. We have to build an applied side panel right here that we will screw in from the inside because we made this face frame flush here. And now measure for the doors. And then we need to make a little bit of trim, make the doors, install the drawer boxes, install the doors, make the applied panel, install the applied panel, send this over to him, and then he's going to install it, which is awesome. These are mission style doors, mission style applied panel. Everything will match his kitchen. So now I'm going to measure for the doors and drawer fronts. And then once that is complete, I think we're going to start working on those cabinets. Jacob went to go get the trim for this job and the face frames, so we can start putting all of those on. So what I'm going to do here when I measure is I'm determining my hinge size, especially for this vanity since there's a 3 fronts. I need to determine my hinge size or my overlay for the doors first, and then I'll take my total width that I have for the 2 doors, and I'll then transfer that to the drawer fronts, making everything, the middle one obviously will be wider because there'll be a sink, but I want to make sure these two are even. There's going to be a applied panel on this side that is 3/4 of an inch thick, and I want to make sure I cover that seam. So I'm going to bring my door 1.5 inches over, so the edge of the door is in line with that seam, so you won't see that seam. We'll make the seam look nice, obviously, but if we can cover the seam, I want to cover the seam. This side's up against a wall, so I need to leave a 1/2 inch, but I didn't see this area where this cabinet's going. Carl went and measured it, and I'm just hedging a bet that I don't want the trim to stick up too far, and then the 1/2 inch, a gap that I'm leaving isn't enough. So I'm going to only bring the door over 3/4 of an inch, so 3/4 inch hinge, which will leave 3/4 of a gap right here. That will make sure the door works, opens properly. We can put a restrictor in the door so the door and the handle don't hit the wall that's right here. This side, it opens into nothing, so we don't need a restrictor, obviously. What I'm going to do here is we have 36. Don't need to take anything off here because the door is essentially coming to the edge here. There will be applied panel, but we don't need to worry about that. And then this right here, I need to subtract 3/4 of an inch from 36, so 35 1/4. Subtract 1/8 down the middle, 35 1/8. So we get 17 9/16 for our door width. Let's think about that again here. So we have 33. Now I'm going to double check myself from measuring on the inside. I measured the outside, now I'm going to measure the inside and add. So 33 plus 1.5 inches, 34 1/2 plus 3/4, 35 1/4. Minus 1/8, 35 1/8. To get to 35 is 17 1/2. An 1/8 split is a 16th, so 17 9/16 for each door. Perfect. Now, what I always do is our rails here are 1.5 inches. So I give a 1/2 inch to the door, 1/2 inch for a gap, 1/2 inch to the drawer. So I'm going to simply go from our bottom of our cabinet to the top of the rough opening, which is 22 1/2, add a 1/2 inch, so 23 is the door height. And then I'm going to measure from the very top of the cabinet to the bottom of the rough opening, which is 6 1/2. I'm going to add 1/2 inch, so 7, but I need to subtract the 1/2 inch up there for a 1/2 inch gap here. So 6 1/2. We'll check ourselves. So we have 23, we have 29 1/2. We have 30 for the gap. We have 30 1/2 for the other gap. So 30 1/2 is what it measures. Perfect. So the math is correct there. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit fun. I want to leave a 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. And then make this front right here. Obviously it needs to be bigger. Let's see. So I have 3 inches here. If I go an inch, these are matching. So the other thing I need to keep in mind is these are matching drawer fronts. They're not slabs. So you can't, it's not a good thing to bring this drawer front over too far, because you have to angle the screw for the drawer box into the drawer front so you don't poke through the center panel. But if you do that, if you bring the drawer front over too far, the style is too far over, and even if you angle that screw in to attach it, it still will hit the center panel. The other thing that's a little weird, which I go back and forth on all the time on which way looks better. So this overlay over here on the left-hand side is different than the right-hand side. Well, this drawer front on the right-hand side needs to line up with the door below it on the right-hand side. The drawer on the left needs to line up with the one on the left. We do it this way, and then we would center this middle one right in the center. This would not be, this drawer would not be the same size as this drawer. Or what I can do is I can shift everything over a hair so this center one isn't exactly centered, but I think that looks better to have these two the same exact size with the custom overlay and have this drawer front just not perfectly centered. I think that's what looks the best. I've done it both ways. They both look fine, but I think having these two, since they're small, you'd be able to tell. You can tell if they're not the same size. If they were 30 inches long, it'd be harder to hide a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. But on an 8 or so wide drawer front. It's harder to hide that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make these two the same size and shift this over this way here. So let's go. What if we go 9 3/4? Okay. I have to go get my mechanical pencil. I can't stand that other pencil. Those cabinets are coming together well. There's a bunch more work we need to do there, but they're looking really good. Obviously the van wrap looks really good. And we're still moving, which is looking really good. Let's come over here. Let's get the reliable mechanical pencil. Never fails. Brandon's still over there routering. It is going to take him a minute or 2 or 20 because he just has to be careful not to ruin those doors. The client knows too. We warned her that something bad could happen, and she's prepared. So, but again, we don't want to have to remake those. We want to not ruin anything if we don't have to. So now, see if this mechanical pencil leaves a little impression. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see that or not. Perfect. And that'll scrub right off because we send all of our frames and doors and the boxes and side panels and trim through our oven and it cures it out. I don't know if anyone else around here has that. The oven to cure their product out. Super important though. Especially with cabinets and doors and everything. Helps the durability of the product. So, let's erase this now here. Go 9 3/4. Perfect. Now, what I should be able to do is measure. Let me make this down here. Between my 2 marks, get the total width, and then subtract for my gaps. I think I'm going to go 14 3/4. And then what I'll do is I will add all this up with my gaps. I'll double check it with my calculator, and these measurements should be good to go. I now have all of my math double checked. All the boring information. 2 doors. They're going to be bored normal, 3.5 from the top, 3.5 from the bottom. So that is completed. Jacob's just pulling back in with face frames and trim. We need to go put those other cabinets together and start putting those face frames on. I'm over here making cabinets now. CNC, we changed the bit out so it's cutting these super clean. One thing I started testing out yesterday, which we're going to make a few changes, but we used to always countersink out these holes that the CNC would make for us, these impressions. So that way the screw head wouldn't pop out and stick out and make our side panel pop out. But I always hated it. It's an extra step it actually takes a decent amount of time when you're doing 40 cabinets. And I just don't think it looks the greatest, as you can kind of see. And then sometimes if the countersink bit gets off because it's adjustable, you drill too deep, it just doesn't hold the greatest. And I use a lot of glue, but still, sometimes it doesn't hold the greatest. So I saw a video yesterday, I forget from who, but they were using drywall screws. Well, they were using deck screws, and then they said that someone else uses drywall screws, which I don't love the drywall screws. I think I'm going to switch to deck screws because the head has like a better cutter, so it digs in a little bit better. The threading's a little thicker, and it's a Torx bit, which would be better than a Phillips bit. But I don't have any with me right now, and I didn't yesterday. But I do have these drywall screws. So all I'm doing is I'm not countersinking these holes. I am simply going right into the impression that the CNC cut for us. And I am screwing the drywall screw right in, and it comes out flush, or it's actually dug in just a hair, which is what we want. But the countersink would take, about 1/8 of the material when you only have a 1/2 inch. There's not much material left for the screw to hold on to. And we would use the Craig panhead ones that grip well, but right now the screw is holding the whole thickness of the material. And I think this works so much better. It's also quicker, it's more efficient, it looks better, and I think it performs better. So that is what we're going to switch to. I am going to use deck screws instead of drywall screws. There's something about the drywall screw there's a lot about the drywall screw I don't like, but this is working right now. The performance of it is great. So I'm not worried about using them for this order, but I would like a Torx bit, and I would like the head just to seat in a little bit better. So we are going to be switching to those, but again, for this order, deck screw, or drywall screw. What do you think about it, Jacob?
I think it'll look better.
I think it will too. I think it looks so much more clean.
Yeah,
it just looks, I mean, over here, well, this is the countersink side that I don't like as much. But as you can tell, the countersink, it just sinks in, you know, about 1/8 of an inch, and then you're losing material to hold material. Where this side, you have the full 1/2 inch being held with a dado, with glue. I just think this is the better way. It's the way of the future right here, Jakey.
I like it.
And Jacob doesn't have to countersink.
That's always a plus.
Jacob's the best countersinker, though.
It might get a little deep sometimes.
Oh, way too deep, but that's fine. That's how we want it. And it'll sit in perfect for our side panels. So we're going to keep doing it. Some of the pieces were already countersunk as they were coming off the CNC. We were doing that, so it is what it is on this order. It'll be just fine, but moving forward, this is what we're doing. See if these pieces are Craig jigged. We have our Craig jigs done right here. These are our bottom and our top pieces. Why don't you grab another Phillips bit. These are, one thing too, I like using inch screws for this material. 1 1/4 are fine, but you have to be really careful and make sure you're perfectly straight. Otherwise they'll pop through. Where on the inch screws, the inch screw is definitely long enough to hold with the glue and the dado, but you don't have to be so fearful of popping through. So we are going to switch to back to inch screws. That's what we were using with the Craig screws, the inch ones. But these 1 1/4 drywall screws are the only ones I have. So that's why I'm using them. A little bit of R&D here on a Friday morning as always. Well, it was actually yesterday, Thursday, but got our glue bottle. This is the best glue bottle. I love it. The way it's built, it doesn't gum up at the front. And there's always a lot of pressure. See if we can't slide this in. That brand new bit. These dados are super tight, and that's what we want. But sometimes, if the board has a little bit of bow, which all plywood does, even really nice plywood like this, you can be fighting. We're slumming it with the DeWalt's. Not really. We like DeWalt, but we love Milwaukee. Hey Jacob, so on the ones that are countersunk, you got to be careful. You got to go slow and straight. I've got to go slow and straight. Yes.
You didn't take the bits out of the pieces, did you?
Carl did.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Okay.
Jakey thought he forgot him on site. Oh no, brother! I check that stuff every night. I would have been calling you last night. Nah. He had to go take off that drawer front so we could match stain for those doors that you just sent over.
Dude, my heart dropped. I was like,
Jakey about had a heart attack. No, Jakey, it'd be alright. See, once in a while they don't. That's why I think the deck screws would be better. Once in a while the head doesn't dig in enough. It just doesn't cut enough. And I think those deck screws have a better cutting mechanism right here before the head. So that's why I think we're going to switch to those. I'm pushing them all the way down because they're tight. I'm going all the way down on every single one. You see that, Jacob, right here? This one is all the way in, but it didn't cut all the way.
Okay.
That's why I think the deck screws will be better.
You're
Most of
going
like
right
I would.
for these.
I am. See how it just like locks it right in there? Yeah. This one's not perfectly. So I will say this. On this cabinet order, this is it's not weird, but it's different. These are cabinets that are going above cabinets. So the skins are not going to be glued on. They have to be nailed on. So that being said, this is barely sticking out any. It's like not, it's just barely. I'm not worried about that. If we are gluing them, I would be a little bit worried because I want to make sure everything is tight. But with the brad nail will suck that in just fine. So it'll be fine on this one. As long as it's not sticking out any more than that.
I don't know if the drill really pushes it in.
No, it's just, I think these drywall screws just the head doesn't cut as well.
Yeah.
Is what I think. So on these ones, we gotta be, you gotta make sure you're straight. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jakey, because I was going off yesterday. Yeah. What were you doing yesterday? Grinding away at a big house.
You guys could see it if I uploaded it.
Yeah, but he has an iPhone, so it doesn't really work that well.
I don't know what the problem is.
It's an iPhone, that's what it is.
Try to transfer it to my computer and see if it'll upload.
Oh, that's a MacBook. That's another problem. No good there either. No good there either. Gotta go Samsung. iPhones are phones. Samsungs are computers. That's the difference. Yeah. Yes.
I got a supercomputer in my pocket.
No, you don't. You have a Motorola Razr with a touchscreen. I got a supercomputer. That's what I'm saying. That's all you can do.
All I need, really. Games and YouTube, I'm good.
You want to get stuff done? You got to get a Google, man. Oh, yeah. The iPhones, man. I didn't want to see you anyway. Oh. I can airdrop to you now. Oh, yeah.
I don't know the last time I ever used airdrop.
Yeah, I don't use it. Look at that right there. You want to get the next one going?
Is it this one?
Yeah, I think those all need Craig jigged. Yeah, like some of these cabinets Brandon already Craiged because they came off the CNC first. But I believe, Jacob, is that number 4? Yeah, so they're sitting right here. The bottom and the top piece. Well, you don't have to. You can just get those done. But, okay. Huh?
Drake lit off like a bomb in Toronto
What?
for his music video.
Love that. Drake's a goat. Because he's a goat. That's why. He did it for the people. Yeah, they loved him. Yeah. No, God, no. They love him. There we go. There's another cabinet done. 5 done. 3 more. Number 1, number 4, and number 5 still need put together. Jacob's going to Craig jig them. And then I'm going to keep putting them together. Jacob's using the Craig jig machine. Set up at a 1/2 inch for 1/2 inch material. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that's beautiful. Evenly spaced. Love that. Absolutely love that. They need to be evenly spaced or I might croak. He's going to do the top and the bottom piece or the floors. I'm going to take these over here, start putting them onto our back. Jacob just finished putting together the last cabinet. There's 8 of them. We need to double check them, label them. Then I think maybe we start making these 2 sets of doors. There's only like 7 doors per order. But I think, or we could start doing the face frames. Well, I might wait until Brandon's done, so we're not in his way. So maybe we'll just start cutting out material for these. I think that's a plan. We're going to label and double check those first. I cut out these 4 center panels for this job. There's only 4 doors and 2 drawer fronts. Jacob is getting all the sticks cut out. Then he'll get the copes cut out. We have to change out the blades. Right now they're Shaker 45. And they need to be emission. So we're gonna wait to do that. He's just over here cutting. How's it going? Going well?
Going well. Cutting out little 8-inch pieces.
Yeah, I cut.
Stick it first.
I think I finished before you a little faster, but look how nice and neat those are stacked.
You accomplished.
Look how you stack these.
This is how you put them after you knock them all over.
No, the wind. It was the wind.
The wind.
It's windy.
Humid. Anything.
How's the beanie? You got a haircut, and I think
I
think it looks worse with the beanie now.
Pretty good, I think.
Actually, put the beanie back on. There we go. Natural habitat.
That's where I belong.
Well, Jacob's gonna keep cutting. I'm gonna start organizing these cabinets, and the next thing is start putting the face frames that are in that van onto the cabinets once Jacob is done cutting. You're almost done? Oh, you should be done?
Yeah, there's only 8-inch pieces.
Whoa! Got us a superstar today. Love that.
We better give her one more.
Brandon's doing good over there. Still getting out that panel. An extra one, huh?
Just in case.
Just in case. All right, well, we're gonna get organized and start moving on to face frames. This is all the trim that we got sprayed at our other facility, sent through our oven to cure out. This is our crown trim. It's a color Ice Cube. It looks white almost, but it's a very light gray. Jacob brought this back earlier. We're going to wrap all of this up, set it to the side, pull out all of our face frames. So that way, Brandon can do his favorite job of dadoing after he just did that job of cutting out the center panels. They look really good though. They're ready for glass. A glass door will go in there with silicone. That's how our glass installer does it. He doesn't use the clips. I think the clips are bulky and you can sort of see them through the glass from the outside. So he silicones them in. There's negatives to that as well. If you ever need the glass out, you can't get it out, but I think that's the more professional way to do it. So that's how he does it. So we'll take those to the other facility to get resprayed up, sent to our oven to get cured up. And then that way, the glass installer can silicone the glass in. We can go back to the client, hang them, and everything will be perfect. We did learn the hard way. I did. This was way before the oven. Sprayed them. They were dry, but I didn't wait long enough. And when he put them through his machine to put the glass in, the door stuck. So then we had to respray the doors. That wasn't fun. So it's not a worry with the oven. Again, the oven cures the product out to about 95%. So once they come out of that oven and sit for about 30 minutes, they will be ready to go for glass. Jacob's cutting out the last 2 slab fronts for that door order. I said, let's just cut them out now so we don't forget about them. And then I'm gonna keep unloading all this trim and the face frames. So that way, again, Brandon can start dadoing and Jacob and I can start screwing and gluing. How'd they turn out, Jacob? Bueno. Would they have been better if I did them or better if you did them?
Of course, better if I did them.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. That's fair. Jacob does great work. These are the face frames right here. Same color as the trim. Looks super nice. Again, sent through the oven. Cured out. Look really good. The process of the vertical belt sander and squaring everything and palm sanding really makes these turn out great. Go like that. How do the face frames look, Jacob?
It came out really nice.
Really nice.
Like the color?
10.
10.
Is it white or gray? Honest feedback.
A really white gray.
Why wouldn't you just say light gray? Why white gray?
Look at it. Looks white to me.
It's Ice Cube, brother.
You can never tell.
So are Ice Cubes white or gray? Because this is a gray.
Up to personal decision, I think.
Or are they translucent?
Oh, translucent, I like that.
Or transparent? I don't know. Does anybody know? I'm going to set these right here. That way they're organized for Brandon. We'll keep strutting. Got to get these unloaded and then start datoing. Carl and Jacob are moving some more stuff to the other facility. Brandon's now datoing out our face frames. And I'm going to start screwing and gluing these face frames onto our cabinet shelves. There's 8 of them. They're all uppers. They're all 1/4 inch scribes, so that makes it a little bit easier. We're going to test this one, see how it fits, and then it's rinse and repeat for the rest of them. Started putting the face frames on these cabinets. Jacob's been double checking all the measurements, or so he says. Why wouldn't you just sit it on its back? Never mind.
On the top.
I don't question what you do. Brandon's going to glue this one up, start screwing it in. I'm going to grab the next one. All of them are datoed, right, Brandon? So we can just grab. Brandon got them all of the face frames datoed. So now we can just grab, match, glue, screw. Number 6, Jakey. I think it's... Yeah? This is the dado right here. Has that cut out. What's the definition of a dado, Brandon?
Essentially, it's a channel cut into the wood at specific intervals. It's
a joint, essentially, right? Right. Just allows the wood to lock into the wood. A lot of time it's fastened with screws and glue on the back side. So that way it just makes a stronger bond. It's a place for glue to be able to connect the wood to the wood. And then screws can help lock it in. Anything to say for yourself?
I'm just putting them together.
Let's take a little bit of this. Specialty drill, Milwaukee, the best. I'm using our 1-inch fine thread panhead screws to lock in our dadoed face frame with glue. These panheads are nice because they sit flush or even recessed into the Craig jig without popping a panel. The screws cannot stick out, otherwise the panel won't adhere correctly. And since we adhere the panels with contact glue, we want to make sure the whole surface of the panel contacts the whole surface of the cabinet shell. Making sure we're perfectly flush down at the bottom, which we are. And I'm just screwing. The specialty drill makes life very easy because you don't need a super long bit. You don't have a lot of leverage extended, which is nice. And it fits into these tight areas. We don't have to work off the floor. And it's just rinse and repeat here until all the screws are in. Once all the screws are in, we can double check these cabinets. We still need to cut out the shelves, which we'll probably do next. May have Jacob cut the shelves. He always cuts the shelves so well. And then we'll have to edge band all the shelves. We may use the brand new edge bander. I'm not sure yet. This edge bander is sitting right over here behind Brandon. It's really nice. Sometimes it just takes too long for only a few shelves. Not saying it's not worth it, because it definitely is. It makes everything really nice and clean, but I think there's only 8 shelves, maybe 6 shelves, so it's probably just faster to not use it. 30 by 23.5 by, let's see, a perfect 12.
Hey,
Or hold on one second, Brandon. Let me. 30, 23.5, a perfect 12. What's up? Yeah, because these are 1 3/4. They're not 1.5 inches.
so it's okay.
Perfect, yep. Brandon was wondering why there was such a big reveal down here at the bottom where our floor, normally our floor is flush. But the way I had to build these, because we're adding trim where the cabinets stack onto the other cabinets, I needed enough room for the trim, for the doors, and for the gap. So I had to make the face frame a hair wider, which is fine. That's just how it had to be. If we are building new doors for their upper cabinets that are already there, I could have manipulated those doors in a way that I could have pushed everything down a little bit, but we're not, so I can't. So this is just how I had to build these cabinets, which works well. Let's go see what Jacob's doing. I think he's sanding down some of the panels for our doors. So I just took some time and I used the math and the layout that the CNC gave us for the shelves, and I just wrote a cut list for the guys, so that way they don't have to, it just helps efficiency. They can just read right here. Also, the CNC takes into account 1/2" material for the shelves. We use inch, so we use 2 1/2" pieces. We really use 7/8, but we take the 1/2" and the 1/2", sand each piece down to 7/16, add them together, we get 7/8 of an inch thick shelves. That way, for edge banding, it'll fit. Since the edge banding is 15/16, we can send it through the new edge bander, and it'll trim the 32nd on each side and turn out perfect. So Jacob or Brandon are going to start cutting these. I think Brandon will. Jacob and I are going to start working on the doors. That looks good. I like that. I think I like that, yeah.
Can I do it on the rest?
Not on these because trim's going on it, so it really doesn't matter. But what'd you take it to, 205? Let's put it together and see. Maybe in future we just go 200 and be done with it. Yeah. We're sanding our middle panel down just to create more of a gap between the rail styles and our panel for expansion, contraction in homes and such, and that way the paint doesn't bridge. It's a better look, it's better durability, better product, so we're just trying to make tweaks and make things better for our clients. These doors are going to have trim all the way around, so it's going to be a little bit different. Carl's over here coping all of our pieces. That's how it looks for the mission profile. That's a stick piece, now he's coping. Going decently slow so nothing blows out or breaks out. Let's take a look. That's how it'll turn out. That's the cope right there. That part's the stick. And that's how we fasten all of the doors together along with glue. Huh? They'll go together really tight just like that. Make a really good joint right there with glue. We use panel buddies to separate the panel. Shouldn't be gluing panels, some people do, but that can lead to problems. The panel needs room to expand and contract. So that's why we're sanding them down a little bit more than usual, just to help with durability and the life of the door. So because in homes, they're going to expand and contract. That's what wood does. This is real wood. These panels are MDF, it's super stable material, man-made, but the material we use for the doors is a hard wood. It's a real wood. So things expand, things contract, just with temperatures and the seasons. So we want to make sure our joints here are super tight, which they are, especially with glue. We'll send them through here to square everything up. We'll pin nail everything, let the glue dry, and then we'll send it through the vertical belt sander. So Brandon's about done over there. I'm going to go clean that up. He's going to start cutting shelves, and then I'm going to come help Jacob get these doors built. Anything to say for yourself?
Ready to get them built.
You are?
4 of them, so it should be easy.
Can you handle it, or you need my help?
I need your help.
Needs my help. Well, I'll come help him. Should we become a banker? I don't know. We should ask my friend.
We should.
He's the goat. He's great at what he does.
What's he do? Give people checks?
Huh?
Give people checks?
No, I forget what he does, actually. I just know he's a big banker. He's a smart man.
Wells Fargo?
God, no.
Come on.
He's a good guy. Wells Fargo, if you see this, don't come after us.
We love you.
We love you. He's a good man. Okay, well.
I have those in there before.
Do you have one that I can put together yet?
Nope.
So I'm just over here waiting?
Yeah, really. Perfection takes time, you know?
That's fair. And that's what Jakey is, perfection. Huh? We're just over here waiting. The people are waiting to see the doors. We do have one door done. And Brandon's over there cutting shelves. He's actually
good doors.
Oh yeah. Got to use ample amounts of glue. Don't want to use.
Do it on the back,
no. Use too much, it can ruin it as well because the thickness and the joint won't lock in as well. But if you don't use enough, the joint won't lock in as well. So, don't know if that made any sense, but I never make sense.
No.
You're the one wearing a beanie and it's 49% humidity and 80 degrees out. It might even be more than 40% humidity. It might be 60.
You're the one that's getting hot. I'm vibing.
You're vibing?
I always am. I'm a vibe kind of guy.
Steelers guy. There we go. A little squeeze out. Hey, yo, did you cut this? You have a tape measure? I think Jakey cut this incorrectly. You cut it incorrectly?
Good enough.
It's correct. Okay, well, Jakey did not cut it incorrectly. Jacob does great work. Yep. There we go. Should work out well, I think. See here in a minute. I pin nail these in until the glue dries. Two pin nails will do, but let's do 3. Feeling adventurous. Let's grab this right here. Fill in the pin nails. Little knot right there I don't love, but it'll be fine. It is on the back, and it's super small, and this putty is really good, so I don't like this though. Jacob, those panels may have to get trimmed. I'm not in love with it. Yep, I'm not in love with this at all, Jacob. I think it'll be okay. Something here ain't quite. I don't know, brother. Yeah, something here is not quite right, and it's pin nailed and it's glued, so oh, that's problematic. The glue hasn't even set yet, and it's hard to get apart, which is good, which is really good, but we just got to get this thing apart here without breaking anything. Okay, we're fine. Everything's good. It's the height. Brandon, hold on 1 second. Can I trim these? Can I trim these?
Let me cut
Yeah.
more
Yep.
back to back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to trim these about a 1/16. They're just oversized a little bit. And I want to make sure these come out perfect. They were 17. Let's go 16 and 15. Huh? I was following the math. See, he's over there talking rubbish. Got it. I blame the guy who put the door together. You? Or me?
What?
Who's at fault here? You or me?
Never really me.
It's never you? I agree with that.
I'm gonna steal your little ice. Whatever you're drinking over.
No, not my root beer. Not my root beer.
That's such an awful.
Making fun of my root beer drink. Gatorade?
Cool blue.
800 grams of sugar, huh?
I could use it.
Yeah, you are very thin.
Thank you. I'll work on it.
I'm not, so I can't be drinking that.
Because I was a chubby 8th grader, and now I took that and become harder.
You did?
Yeah. Stop eating.
Too much Culver's?
I love Culver's, man.
Culver's. The goat.
You got a concrete mixer last time I went?
Maybe that's why Ryan from Victory Outdoor Services like Culver's so much. They got the concrete mixer.
They're so good.
They are.
You gotta get, I got cookie dough and brownies.
You gotta get Heath.
Heath, they'll have what they
Sometimes it breaks the cup though. All right, let's see about what we can do with this now. It's kind of in shambles here, which isn't great. Hey, will you hand me that hammer really quick for the sets? Because we're in shambles. And by we, I mean me. I am trying to preserve this door, so I need to be careful. Sometimes, this is just what happens. Not everything goes to plan. Isn't that right, Jakey? Not everything goes to plan.
Not always. You wish it would.
We wish. The back looks really good. When I pull this out, I'm going to look at the front thoroughly to make sure that it is fine. And if it's not, we'll just simply remake the door. So I'm not going to give out a bad product because I miscut something. But it looks really good, actually. So I love that. Okay, I love that. We're good to go. Now I just gotta do 2 more doors. I'm fasting today, and Jacob's talking about getting Domino's.
Yeah.
What a man. That's support right there.
It is. Gotta keep you mentally strong.
That's the support we need. I will say, he's a stuffed crust guy. The pan pizza is way better than the stuffed crust. Because the actual pizza's good. The stuffed crust is good, but the rest of the pizza dough isn't that good. No, it doesn't depend. It's a national chain, brother.
OG stuffed crust?
No, not Pizza Hut. Domino's.
Yeah, there it is. It's pretty good.
Domino's is the best. You get the lava cake. I'll go on record. The lava cake's the best dessert from anywhere. Name a better dessert.
Top Golf has a brownie.
It looks really good. No, not Top. No, I take Top Golf is good, but that lava cake would beat it. Leave in the comments. Best chain pizza place, because it's definitely Domino's. We all know that. We're all adults around here. I'm not saying Domino's pizza is great, but it's the best chain pizza. All right, let those dry up. Take them to the vertical belt sander and get to sanded. Our next task is to sand this 1/2 inch material down to 7/16. So that way when we join them together, we can have 2 pieces 7/16. That'll make 1 piece of 7/8, which will fit for our edge banding and our edge bander. So we're gonna run 3 passes at this, get it sanded down, glue them, brad nail them, color match putty, edge band, and these shelves for the cabinets we put together this morning will be done. How's it going?
Having a grand old time.
It's actually going pretty well. Sometimes these are a pain because the UV side is super slick and the belt doesn't like, the belt doesn't like to grip it. But we're on our final pass now. There's not that many shelves either. There's only 12 pieces, 6 shelves because the cabinets are super short. So it's going remarkably fast. The next step will be sort them, glue them, brad nail them, color match putty, and then we just have to test to make sure that they fit. Once that is completed, that cabinet order will be ready to be installed on Monday. We have all of our shelves sanded down. So now we're just going to be putting a lot of glue so nothing can delaminate, a lot of brad nails, and then some color match putty. So it's like nothing ever happened, you know? And then these shelves will be thick shelves for the client so nothing can bow or warp or bend over time. Jacob said only put a few brad nails because he's puttying, which is fair, but I am not listening to him.
Never do.
We don't want these to separate. This will be number 6. We'll label the back, and then we'll put edge banding across the front, and that's how they'll turn out. 7/8 of an inch thick, super sturdy, clear coated both sides, nice and heavy. Got anything to say about it? Any words of advice, any encouragement?
Less brad nails, I wish, but I think that throws off the sturdiness. So
Oh,
a lot of nail holes don't have to be filled.
so what you're saying is I'm doing it correct.
Unfortunately, I think so.
He said I'm doing it correct. That's what we like to hear.
I think we switched jobs.
Switch jobs? Yeah, it's always, I can't stand when the brad nailer isn't the puttier. You know, because the brad nailer puts way too many nails, and then the puttier's got to come through and putty everything.
That is real.
You know.
But the brad nailer doesn't seem to care.
Well, no, because we want it sturdy and strong. You know?
It is fair.
These shelves are never coming apart. And I mean never. All right, we're gonna keep doing the rest of the shelves and we'll get back with you. Jacob and I got our thick shelves all completed. They look really good. Look at those, 7/8 of an inch thick. They all fit inside of every single cabinet. Double checked. You like the shelves?
I love them.
Them things thick though. They're heavy. Brandon's over there sanding some of the doors. He made an applied panel. We have some more doors to make. So I think we might help him sand so he can start cutting those down and then we can start making more doors. Brandon and I got the rest of the doors sanded down. This is an applied panel Mission to match the door style. Flat slab fronts, Mission doors. They look really nice. We have to trim out the inside and router these doors a little bit differently, but we'll deal with that once they're cut down. We also need to sand these doors with the palm sander, just clean them up once they're cut down. Jacob and I are now working on the next set of doors that'll go with that applied panel. I have some of our pieces sticked out. He's cutting the copes. And then we have to cut the center panels and we can start putting these doors together. Together or together? Together.
Together.
Together. Is that how they say it in Marshalltown? Together?
God no.
What do they say?
To go. I'll always rep Marshalltown.
Always rep them to the end, huh?
I sure will.
These are sticks? What are these?
Stick, yeah.
No cope, just stick?
Yeah, they're for the front.
And these are what? Okay, well, I'm just gonna let Jakey do him. I'm gonna go cut center panels. Good work, Jacob.
Thank you.
We're building the next order of doors. These fronts are matching fronts, not slab. And they're tiny, because they go on a bathroom vanity. Jacob's gluing her up. We just cope, stick, cut out all the panels. I'll start putting them together so Jakey can keep staying over here. This is his throne, his station.
Sure is. Now I got double tables.
Because we messed up one of the pieces, remember? I had to recut for you.
Yeah, we did mess them up, huh?
Who did?
Maybe a mixture of the team.
I think I did.
Yeah.
That one's on me. That one's on me, brother.
Not too often, though. I'll give you that.
Pretty much never, right? No. Pretty much always. But that's okay. We fixed it. Brandon and Carl took equipment to the other facility, and then he'll come back here and start cutting the panels and the doors down. Jacob and I are just gonna stay in our place and keep putting doors together. 3/4 of an inch, beech wood, hardwood, painted, middle's MDF, stable, won't expand, contract, bust the door apart. All glued, squared, and pin nailed until they dry. Vertical belt sand. These will be painted tricorn black, just like the other set of doors we finished. Both mission style, both tricorn black from Sherwin Williams. So I'm gonna pin nail this up. Wipe the glue so it doesn't jam up the pin nailer. Just like this. And then the pin nails are just there to hold until the glue dries. But the seams are tight. It's a friction fit along with the glue. It'll set up nicely. I'll putty those pin nails and then set it on the rack, just like these are. Jacob did those. It turned out really nice. I think sanding down that panel actually worked really well. Yeah, makes it look good. We want a slight gap between the panel and the hardwood. Not a big gap, just a slight gap, so the paint doesn't bridge, and so when the MDF or the hardwood expands and contracts, it doesn't bust the door apart. Make all those, let those all dry. Use this guy, take the thickness down from 13/16 right here to 3/4 of an inch, and then we can cut them down, router, sand, and bore. Jacob and I got this order of doors and drawer fronts completed. I'm gonna cut that panel down, cut those doors down, cut this order down. Jacob's gonna router, sand, putty, double check. I'll come help him do that once I'm done cutting down. I think that's going to end the video for today. About 2 o'clock. We'll be here till 4:30. I'll probably be here longer, but Jacob and the guys will be out about 4. We're just going to be cutting these doors down and routering and double checking these doors for the rest of the day. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment. We love the comments. We answer the comments. Check out our website. It's professional. Yeah, I think that's about it though. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Adios.